Here on the show, we like to bring you fair and balanced news. It's the point of the channel, quite frankly. We look at both sides of the story and we present to you what we find out after taking time out to do some research. But what always fascinates me are the particular stories that get traction, that go around the world with really a very thin veneer of perhaps some truth to it. As ever, though, let me explain. Hi, good morning. How are you? Nice to see you today. And as ever, thank you so much for joining me. Lovely to have your company. And as ever, welcome one and all brand new subscribers. Yes. Are you waving? You're not waving. Come on. Yes. Well, you should be waving. I know. Put your tea down a minute. You're having coffee. Yeah. Oh, I tell you what I saw the other day for the first time. I haven't seen it for years. Do you remember Coffee Mate? I don't know what it's called in your part of the world. Oh, that was considered a luxury. Do you remember? Oh, when you think about that now, what was in Coffee Mate? I mean, you wouldn't be allowed it now, would you? But it's just strange, isn't it? What you considered an absolute luxury then, as opposed to, when you think now, you think, no, I won't bother with that. Yeah. Anybody else remember Coffee Mate? Yeah, no. Don't know. Where does your mind go? It's, well, who can say? Where does this mind go? Let's not go there. Back as ever to your breaking roll story of the day. This is a story all about Prince Harry ripping off his t-shirt, cuddling and kissing a TV presenter in a darkened Chelsea club. Oh yes, and finally ripping down a poster picture of Her Majesty the Queen because he didn't want to see his grandmother seeing him doing what he was doing. You get the picture. A very leery night out, apparently, according to this particular TV presenter and comedian Paddy McGuinness. Now, Paddy McGuinness over here is not particularly that well known. He's been on television a lot, doing various different things. His most successful sort of situation really would be as a sidekick to the phenomenally successful comedian Peter Kay over here in the United Kingdom. But Paddy recently announced to the world that he's going back on a stand-up tour because he needs the money. He's had a few varying degrees of very difficult years. He was, of course, one of the presenters of the much-loved Top Gear programme, the motor show. Sadly, that's now been cancelled, alongside a couple of Paddy's daytime quiz shows. So you can understand, he has a vested need to get his name back out there. Interesting, as I often say. So you see, this story all starts about, well, Paddy can't exactly remember when it was, but he was in a club in Chelsea and he turned round to find Prince Harry behind him. Suddenly, Prince Harry, a little bit leery, throws his arms around him, starts hugging and kissing him, and then apparently rips down the poster. Now, what's interesting about this story and this marketing is simply this. Paddy needs to get his name back out there, hence the reason we're talking about it. But here's the twist. Paddy can't quite remember exactly who else was there, and he can't quite remember the period of time. He just remembers being in this club. Oh, it was a long time ago, and a little bit missed because he too had been drinking. You get the picture. But what this now does, you see, is put him next to someone who's consistently in the headlines and, of course, gets him talked about by association. Now, I'm not suggesting for one moment that this particular situation did not take place in some form. But to suggest it in this form is very clever indeed by the marketeers behind this comedian, Paddy McGuinness. As for Prince Harry, even he might suggest that recollections may vary. Either way, it's got both of them talked about again. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.